Hello! My name is Ram and welcome to another video of Matuklasan. Math is an integral part for providing practical solutions to many industrial problems. That is why at an early stage, math students are taught to solve different problems so that they will be able to see that they can apply their mathematical abilities to find the solution to a problem. Unfortunately, some students hate math because of their difficulties in the subject. That is why it's very important to study some strategies that we discussed in my previous video to solve a particular problem in math. And one of these is the use of variable. Variables are very useful in solving problems algebraically. And a variable is a symbol used to represent either a quantity which is unknown or a quantity which may change. For example, if x plus 3 equals 5, and we are looking for the value of x here is the variable that represents a unknown quantity in this equation. On the other hand, let's say I will let a be the age of the students inside the classroom. This is now a variable which has a quantity that could change because the value of a will depend on the students that you will ask. And say student 1 told you that she is 18 years old. Student number 2 told you that he is 17 years old, and so on. Variables can be represented using letters, combinations of letters and numbers, and some Greek letters. In geometry, we use small letters to represent the sides of polygons, capital letters to represent different angles. We also use combination of letters and numbers like this one, x sub 1, x sub 2 and x sub 3 to represent related lines or points. And we also use Greek letters like alpha and beta for angles. The main reason for learning how to set up and solve algebraic equations is so that we can use them to solve word problems. In fact, algebraic equations were invented to make solving word problems much easier. Here are some of the keywords that we could use to translate English phrases to mathematical expressions. Let's try these examples. Translate each of the following phrases into a mathematical expression or sentence. Use as few variables as possible. In the first one, the sum of a number and a 9. The number is unknown, so let this be n. And this is translated into digit 9. Since we are looking for the sum, the correct expression now is n plus 9. In number 2, the product of two numbers. Since we don't know the two numbers, let this be n and n. And to get the product, we just need to use some parentheses. You can also rewrite this into like this, or using that for product. How about the product of -1 and a number? Since the number is unknown, let this be n. Now, multiplying -1 to n will give us -n. 1/2 times the sum of two numbers. So we need to get the sum of the two numbers first. Let those numbers be n and m. Getting their sum, we have n plus m. But we need to multiply the sum of the two numbers to 1/2. So put a parenthesis or grouping symbol and multiply it to 1/2. Twice the number means we need to multiply a particular number to 2. So this is 2n. A number less 8 means we need to subtract a number, let's say n, with 8. So this is just the direct translation of the difference or minus in mathematical expression. This one is different because if this is 5 and this is a number and you saw less than, you need to interchange the position of these two terms. So instead of writing 5 minus n, we rewrite n minus 5. Same as with more than. So if this is 6 and this is a missing number, then this is n plus 6. Since we have a commutative property and addition, it's also alright to write 6 plus n. But In subtraction, we don't have a commutative property, so you need to be careful of the difference or the minus expression. The square of a number, so if the number is x, we just need to square this. 4 times the square of a number, so since this is the square of a number, we just need to multiply it by 4 to correctly translate this. 1/2 of a number, so if the number is n, we just need to multiply 1/2 to it, or you can also write it as n over 2. 3 less than twice a number. Remember that this is less than, so if this is 3 and this is the number, you need to twice it first. Twice the number is 2n, so therefore this is 2n minus 3, because we need to interchange the positions of these two terms because this is less than. In this case, it's more than. So if this is 5, 3 times a number is, let's say, 3n, then this is 3n plus 5. The square of the sum of 5 and the number. So we need to get the sum of 5 and a number first. So 5 and this is, let's say, n. So this is 5 plus n and then squared. Now this one is different because we need to get the sum of the squares of two numbers. So meaning if the first number is m, you need to square it first. And if the second number is n, square it also. Then get the sum of this. This one is trickier. Let B be the number of boys and G for the number of girls. Since the boys are twice as many as the girls, then the number of boys is 2G, or twice the number of girls. If you are looking for the number of girls, you just need half of the number of boys. Now let's try solving problems. Let n be this number. Now we need to translate this sentence into a mathematical equation or expression. A number is doubled, so if the number is n, we need to double it by multiplying it to 2. Increasing by 7, meaning we need to add 7. The result is 93. So this expression is equal to 93. And we have now our working equation. And the next step is to find the value of n. Now 2n plus 7 equals 93. By using our knowledge in algebra, we just need to transpose this first for us to have 2n equals 93 minus 7. 93 minus 7 is 86. Dividing both sides by 2 will give us n equals 43. Now let's check our answer. If the number is 43, doubling it and adding 7, would it give us 93? Yes, the answer is 93. So the original number is really 43. Raj sold half of his comic books and then bought 16 more. He now has 36. With how many did he begin? For this problem, let C be the initial number of comic books of Raj. So translating this into mathematical equation, we'll have half of his comic books and then bought 16 more. So we have C, and then half of it was sold by Raj. Then after selling half of his books or comic books, he added 16 more. And now he has 36. We can simplify this by writing C over 2, because C minus C over 2 is C over 2 plus 16 equals 36. Now by multiplying both sides by 2, Distributing this term to these two terms, we have C plus 32 equals 72. Transposing this value will give us C equals 72 minus 32. 72 minus 32 is 40. So C equals 40. The reason that I multiplied 2 on both sides of the equation for us to get rid of this denominator. And since C equals 40, let us try checking our answer, because it says here that if the initial number of books is 40, he sold half of it. Half of 40 is 20. So subtracting 20 and then adding more 16 comic books should give us 36. And 40 minus 20 plus 16 is 36. So our answer is correct. Mary is 6 years older than Jane. The sum of their ages is 20. How old is Mary? Let M be the age of Mary and J be the age of Jane. It says here that Mary is 6 years older than Jane. So if Jane is it's J years old, then adding 6 is the age of Mary. Now, it also says here that the sum of their ages is 20. So we have M plus J equals 20. Now, by using this first equation, all we need to do is to substitute J plus 6 to M. So that we'll have J plus 6 plus J equals 20. We need to solve for J first for us to know the age of Mary. So J plus J is 2J. Then we have plus 6 here equals 20. Transposing the value of 6, we'll have 2J equals 20 minus 6. 20 minus 6 is 14. And dividing both sides by 2 will give us the answer of J equals 7. So Jane is 7 years old. How about Mary? So if Mary has an age which is 6 more than Jane, and we already solved for J, M is 7 plus 6. So the age of Mary is 13 years old. Okay, need to write years old. Let us check our answer. If Jane is 7 years old, then 6 years older than Jane means Mary is 13. The sum of their ages is 20, and 13 plus 7 is 20. 6 less than 5 times a number is the same as 7 times the number. Let n be the number. If n is the number, then 5 times a number is 5n. And this is 6. Since this is less than, then we need to interchange the positions of these two terms. So this is 5n minus 6. Is the same as tells us that it's equal to 7 times the number. 7 times the number is 7n. We are referring to the same number because of the article the. So we won't need another variable for that. So it's the same number, so it's still 7n. Solving for n by, let's say, transposing 7n on the other side of the equation and negative 6 on the right side of the equation. So we'll have 5n minus 7n equals positive 6. 5n minus 7n is negative 2n. This is equal to 6. Dividing both sides by negative 2, we'll have n equals negative 3. We can check our answer by substituting negative 3 on n. So 6 less than 5 times a number, we need to multiply 5 and negative 3, and then we need to subtract negative 6. 5 times negative 3 minus 6 is negative 21. How about 7 times the number? 7 times negative 3. 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. And since we got the same value, we have proven this statement. So the correct answer is n equals negative 3. The product of two numbers is 78 and their sum is 19. What are the numbers? Let x be the first number and let y be the second number. The product of two numbers is 78, meaning x times y is equal to 78. Their sum is 19. So x plus y equals 19. Now, to solve for the value of x and y, you can use different solutions or methods for solving systems of linear equations. But in this case, I'm going to use substitution method. Now, x times y equals 78 can be written into x equals 78 over y by dividing this equation, both sides of this equation by y. Now, substituting the value of x in the x here in the second equation, we'll have 78y plus y equals 19. Multiplying both sides by y will give us 78 plus y squared, because y will be cancelled here, and y times y is y squared. So this is 19y. By transposing the term 19y on the left side of the equation will give us y squared minus 19y plus 78 equals 0. And if you notice, this is an example of a quadratic equation, so you could use this formula to solve for the missing values of y's. In my case, I'm going to use trial and error. So what are the two factors that has product of 78 and their sum is negative 19y? So it must be negative 13 and negative 6, because negative 13 times negative 6 is 78, while negative 13 plus negative 6 is negative 19y. So y equals 13 and y equals 6 by equating these two factors to 0. We all know that x times y is equal to 78. We got two values for y. So if y is equal to 6, then by using this equation, xy equals 78, we'll have 6x equals 78. Divide both sides by 6, we'll have x equals 13. Now, if y is equal to 13, this will become, again, using this equation, this will become 13x equals 78. Dividing both sides by 13, we'll have x equals 6. So either way, we only have two numbers, 6 and 13. The sum of four consecutive numbers is 626. Find the four numbers. If we have consecutive numbers like 1, 2, 3, notice that if I will let 1 be x, I can get 2 whenever I add 1 to the previous number, which is 1. So here, the next number after x is x plus 1. And to get 3, I need to add 1 and 2. So the next one is x plus 2. If I will add, let's say, 4 here, I need to add 3 to 1 for me to get 4. So if x is equal to 1, this is x plus 3. So the 4 consecutive numbers are x, x plus 1, x plus 2, and x plus 3. Adding these 4 numbers, x plus 1, x plus 2, plus x plus 3 will give us 626. By using algebra, x plus x plus x plus x is 4x. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6 equals 626. Transposing the value of 6 on the other side of equation, we'll have 4x equals 626 minus 6. Now, 626 minus 6 is 620, and we have 4x here. Divide both sides by 4, we'll get x equals 155. So the first number is 155. The second number is x plus 1, so this is 156. The second number is x plus 2, so this is 157. The fourth number is x plus 3, so this is 158. So the 4 consecutive numbers are 155, 156, 157, and 158. Adding these 4 numbers will give us 626. A certain doctor's age is now 7/9 of what will be 18 years from now. Just how old is he now? Let D be the age of the doctor now, and D plus 18 his age after 18 years. And the age of the doctor now is 7/9 of what will be in 18 years. So we need to multiply 7 over 9 to his age 18 years from now, and that is D plus 18. Let us solve for D. So for me to get rid of 9, I just need to multiply this 2 sides to 9. So 9 times D is 9D. 9 multiplied by this term will give us 7 times D plus 18. As we say, this will be cancelled, right? Now, 7 will be multiplied to D and 18. So we'll have 9D equals 7D plus 126. Transposing the value of 7D on the other side of equation, we'll have 9D minus 7D equals 126. So 9 minus 7 is 2D. Divide both sides by 2. And the answer is 63. So the age of the doctor is 63 years old. At the candy shop, an order comes in for 18 lollipops. Some of the lollipops are 7 pesos and some are 9 pesos. The order's total is 142 pesos. How many candies are 9 peso lollipops or are worth 9 pesos? So here, let S be the number of 7 peso lollipops and N be the number of 9 peso lollipops. And our equations are, first, an order comes in 18 lollipops, so this is S plus N is equal to 18. Some of the lollipops are 7 pesos and 9, so the order's total is 142. So to get the total of 142 pesos, so we need to multiply 7 pesos to the number of 7 peso lollipops. And we need to add it to 9 times the number of 9 peso lollipops, and that will give us 142 pesos. We have a systems of equation here, so you can use elimination method, substitution method, and so on. And in this case, I'm going to use the substitution method. So by transposing the term N here on the right side of the equation, we'll have S equals 18 minus N. Now, placing the term 18 minus N here, we'll have 7 times 18 minus N plus 9N equals 142. 7 times 18 is 126. 7 times n is minus 7n plus 9n equals 142. Now, negative 7n plus, negative 7n plus 9 is 2n. Oh, what happened? So this is 2n. And transposing the value of 126 on the right side will give us 142 minus 126. Now, 142 minus 126 is 16. Divide both sides by 2, we'll have n equals 8. And since we now know that the value of n is 8, then s is just equal to 18 minus 8. So s is equal to 10. So the number of 9 peso worth lollipop is 8 pieces rather. And we have 10 pieces of lollipops worth 7 pesos. Manong Robin is planning to fence his rectangular backyard for his ducks and geese. He has 26 meters of chicken wire to build the perimeter. What should be the dimensions of the fence if the length is to be 3 meters longer than the width? For this problem, we will let x be the length and y be the width. And now here, the perimeter is 26 meters. And as we all know, to get the perimeter of a rectangle, we need to multiply the width and the length to 2 and add them. So the formula is 2x plus 2y for the perimeter of the rectangular fence. Now, since the perimeter is 26, our first equation is 26 equals 2x plus 2y. And it says here that the length is 3 meters longer than the width. So if the length is x, you need to add 3 on the width, which is y. And we have now our two equations. By substitution method, I'm going to place the value 3 plus y or the terms 3 plus y here. So we'll have 26 equals 2 times 3 plus y plus 2y. So 26 equals distribution. We have 6 plus 2y plus 2y. So this is 26 equals 6 plus 4y. Transposing the value of 6 here, we'll get 26 minus 6 equals 4y. And the answer here will become 20 equals 4y because 26 minus 6 is 20. Divide both sides by 4. And y now is equal to 5. And the unit is meters. So we need to place 5 meters. To get the value of x, we're going to need this equation. And since we now know the value of y, which is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8 meters. So the length is 8 meters while the width is 5 meters. Now, how about you try these examples yourself? And that's all for this video. If you want more video lessons in math in the modern world, you can always check my playlist in the description down below. And please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video.